what is up, fellers? Check out my motherfucking Series 2 Elite controller collection. I have way too many of these fucking things, dude. I don't know how it got this out of hand. It just started with one or two, and then, what the fuck? So anyway, I guess this video is gonna be me mostly reviewing the controller, because, it's kinda like egotistical to just be like, I'm showing off my controllers, bleh. Like, come on, you know. Let's have some importance to the video, eh? So, good things about the controller, bad things about the controller. Let's get into it. It's overall the best controller, I would say. I think other controllers might do stuff a little bit better. For one, these don't have motion controls built into them. You need like a Brook adapter to kind of artificially create that, and even then, it's not the best. You can get it to work, but it's kind of a pain in the ass, is my point. So, motion controller lovers, this isn't exactly the greatest for you, unfortunately. There's no such thing as the perfect controller or just video game experience in general. You're going to run into things that you don't like, or things that you like personally don't like, or things that are objectively shit, like fucking microtransactions or something. So anyway, but yeah, these are sick, right? Well, yeah, a lot of people talk shit about this controller. They say it's too expensive, and they're right about that. They're definitely right about that. I have a decent job, so I'm an asshole who can totally, get away with buying tons of these fucking things, I guess. Well, I got a lot of them pretty cheap and used. Half of them are used here, and I got lucky. They turned out to be pretty good. There were a few stinkers, but I know a guy who can like fix them up and stuff, at least the bumpers or the analog sticks, which are, the part that tends to go to shit on these things more than any other part. There is something that does suck about them. Some of the models, the little like rubber part on the back starts to peel off. You can kind of sort of fix it with glue, but it seems to just keep wanting to peel off anyway over time. So your controller will turn into dog shit as a result. You can actually buy like these new grips and put them on, but I don't know how to attach those. I think you got to take the controller apart more than I ever have to be able to access that. So that might be kind of a pain in the ass too, but that's a way to solve that problem if you have it. But I've only seen it on 2 controllers I've purchased out of like fucking 20, obviously, as you can see. So yeah, only 2 used controllers I've purchased in the past completely went to shit on me. Like one of them like collapsed into itself or some shit. Like it was crushed trash. Like it was really bad shape. And yeah, then another used controller I had, it started doing the peeling thing where the rubber starts coming off and stuff. Actually, I think I've seen it 3 times, so maybe it's a little more common than you'd think. So yeah, I'd argue like 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10, I don't know, depending on your luck, will have that problem over time. That sucks, so that's a huge negative about this controller. I would argue from my standpoint, a 1 out of 5 chance or so. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. I could be really lucky. I could be really unlucky. I don't know. But yeah, that happens. Sometimes the fucking rubber starts peeling off. That sucks. Yeah. And if you don't like the texture, you can get a different type of grip on the back. But like I said, it's kind of a pain in the ass to change it out. It's already a pain in the ass to take the faceplates off. You need plastic wedges, plastic wedging tools so you don't scratch or damage anything. And stick this motherfucker in here right in this groove. And then you come in with like a second tool of some sort and you start to just like pop the edge of the plate off and you can change it out. It's pretty easy, honestly. Like I could probably do it real quick. And if the faceplate has been removed before, it seems to get easier and easier to take them on and off. Don't worry if the faceplate like breaks off on some of the grooves. As long as most of them there, it'll stick to the controller perfectly. So Yeah, these faceplates you can get from Extreme Rate, they're pretty sweet. Some of them, though, suck. Some of them are like a cool design, like this wood design, but the texture is like this matte, faux, weird feeling. I don't really care for it kind of texture. It's up to opinion if you like it or not, honestly, but I hate it. It feels weird in my hands. I usually don't complain too much about that sort of thing, but for some reason that shit bothers me, that texture in particular. But they're not all that texture. A lot of them are this clear texture that's, very similar feeling to like an old school Super Nintendo controller, N64 controller, PlayStation controller. So that's perfect. And then they do the chrome, which is really nice. They do the chrome good. And what else? Yeah, these ones are even more smooth and shinier for some reason than this type. It's even better. These ones here. These are my favorites to use, these three right here. Hmm. What else do I need to say here? Yeah. So they have a lot that have textures on them that feel like this matte, dull, kind of overly smooth feel, I guess you could say, but it's like too smooth to the point where your finger kind of sticks when you try to slide your finger on it, kind of like sticks, versus this, which feels a lot more like controlled, and the chrome too. All this feels better. That's why these faceplates are here largely. That and they happen to look the coolest. But what else can I say here? Negatives. I think on some fighting game controllers from back in the day, like some PS2 controllers, and yeah, I think those had better D-pads for like fighting games and stuff. So this ain't the best controller for a fighter, I guess. I'm trying to say. For a shooter, it definitely is. And for an open world experience, yeah, it's basically the best also too. So you're playing Elden Ring or you're playing Halo 3 or something, yeah, this is like the best controller right now overall to be using. Some people prefer a few other things, of course, but I'm just saying, in my experience, this is a great controller. It's really universal. It works good for pretty much anything you're doing. Any old console, any new console, PC, yeah, there you go, dude. It works really good with all that shit. And if it doesn't, there's adapters that allow that to work. And I have a few of them, like these Brook adapters. This one lets you play on Switch and PlayStation 4. And I think even PS5 now, it's compatible for that. Um, hmm, let's see here. Yeah, see, I got some Brook adapters here. Pretty sweet. So yeah, you can get different Brook adapters to work with other stuff. And I've tested them all. They work pretty good, except for some reason, I don't know what the fuck gives. I tested the Brook adapter that lets you use these controllers on a Super Nintendo. Yeah, you can do that. And it works. And it was weird. When I first got the product and I tested it, it worked great. But then over time, I tested it again like a year or two later, and there was an input lag delay thing going on that was horrible. Did this product go to shit on me, or what the fuck just happened there? I am kind of like stumped on that one. So maybe that product is shit, or maybe I'm just unlucky. I don't know what it is. But every other Brook adapter I've ever used is like pretty much perfect. Um, this one has a wireless function. Getting that to work is a nightmare. It doesn't want to connect for shit. It's terrible. So that sucks about the Brook adapter here. But uh, if you get the wired part going, which is kind of what you want to do anyway, uh, yeah, that's awesome. That works great. Once you get it working, it might give you some shit with the connection a few times before it really connects. But yeah, so it's not perfect, but if you want to use this awesome controller on a Switch, then yeah, this is kind of the best way to go. If you want the motion controls, I mean. If you don't want the motion controls, Brook has a different adapter that will work just fine with the cable. This one right here. Yeah. They also have a blue one. This blue one. This one works for both PlayStation 4 and Switch. Yeah. So if you got both those, you can just buy that one adapter and it'll work on both consoles. That one works pretty good too. So one more negative. See this analog stick? This is an official Xbox analog stick that I was using with this very controller, right? And the thing with that is, over time, I wore it down. You can see how smooth the edge is, you know? If the camera would focus. Yeah, see, it's lost a good bit of its texture. Versus like a fresh analog where you can really see the little rivet indentations throughout. So I smoothed it down for playing vigorously for like a year of Elden Ring, I think it was mainly. So yeah, the analog sticks do kind of go to shit after a while. But not only do they go to shit in that way, like maybe that doesn't bother you that it's really smoothed over now. Maybe you don't fucking care. Maybe you're one of those people. Well, guess what? Oh, is it this one? Yeah. It was oopsies. It was this one that yeah, see that shit? Look at that. Just my thumbnail getting in there. Ooh, destroying it with just my nail. Not using much force at all. This thing's fucked. So that falls apart on you. So these things don't fucking last forever, these analog sticks. That's an official one from Xbox, dude. What the fuck? After about a year of, I'll admit, strong usage, but still, they only last that long. So know that, people. I think you can get new rubber heads put on. I don't know exactly how you go about doing that, or you just buy new analogs. And here's another thing. Buying new analog sticks is tricky. Make sure you get the official Xbox ones. There's knockoff ones that don't quite have the same magnetism stick or girth, so it feels like clicky and sticky kind of when you're like moving it around in a circle. That's bad. You want the official ones, and those work good. So, another thing to keep in mind. They do have those like waffle D-pads. I think those are fucking stupid. I don't know if you guys dig that shit, but fuck it. I don't. No, dude, I'm old school, I guess. I don't know. Maybe certain games it's handy, but whatever. I prefer this D-pad. Plus, it just looks cooler, dude. It just looks way better. And yeah. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, just use these for the most part. I would argue. You can always swap out different analogs. They have taller analogs that might be better for like real precision aiming in games that kind of have a bad aiming mechanics that can help make that experience a little bit better. I don't know. I can't think of anything else to say about these that's kind of like a concern or a negative. Oh, wait, here's one right here. Check that out. See that right there? Yeah, for some reason, this fucking custom, brand new controller, hardly used at all. Its goddamn bumper paddle, this one down here, was kind of fucked up. Not really clicking and registering very good. So I was like, that sucks. But if you get a piece of like painter's tape, this is the green frog tape, painter's tape that I got. Put that shit on there, make it a little thicker so it reaches the switch a little bit easier, and there it is. You don't even notice it. You don't even feel the difference. You can't tell. It's fine. That's a really good way to solve that issue. So yeah, and it's been working like that for months now. It's fine. I think I've done that to a few different models here. Is this one? No. Is this one of them? No. What about this? No. No. I'm not sure. Maybe none of them. Maybe it's none of them right now. Because, yeah. Yeah, it's none. Just that one was being a problem. I swear it's happened to me before on a different controller, but I think that one ultimately broke even further, so... Yeah, I've had about 20 of these fucking controllers, and, yeah, 3 times out of 4, the experience is good. That 1 out of 4 times is a handful of controllers I had, about 3 or 4 of them that There was no saving them, you know. And just so you know, these controllers right here are the ones my bro primarily uses. These four right here. These four right here, my buddy Justin primarily uses. And then I use all these for all kinds of different shit. This is the one I mainly use at home. The one I mainly use at work. This one's for PC gaming mainly. This one's for like console, you know, mainly. This one's backup for Halo. Two of them that I use. And then I use these two Chrome ones mainly for Halo. So if these controllers break in any shape or form, I jump to these two. And then, yeah, these two I use. One at work, one here at home for playing fucking like Breath of the Wild and shit with the motion control setting. So this is like really awesome to play Breath of the Wild with. Like I said, once you get it to work, it's kind of a fucking pain in the ass. But anyway, these controllers here, my brother prefers the fat old school 360 analog. So that's why the analogs on all these are the bigger kind. And yeah, these have all been like fixed with like clickier bumpers that are more badass. Except for this one. I need to get this one fixed. This one's fucked up actually. Bumper ain't working on it. So yeah, we're going to get that fixed. So yeah. These are all pretty sweet. This one's kind of special, actually. They didn't have any more different faceplates that I liked, so I got a clear one, and I painted it all kinds of weird, like cosmic-y red and blue kind of vibe with a bunch of sparkle flakes on the inside, and look at that shit. That looks trippy as hell. I didn't expect it to turn out so weird looking. But what are you going to do? I had a crazy idea, and there it is. So yeah, these are fucking sick, dude. Yeah, and they all work pretty good. And most of them I got for only like $60 because they're used. Like this one, this one. No, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. These are all custom, 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 custom. And that's it. The rest are not custom. This one's been through the ringer. I've had this one for a long time. This is like a Batman looking motherfucking controller. This is really cool. But that one I think might be the oldest one here, and it still works perfectly. What the fuck? That one's a keeper. Yeah, I even put this one in like a shitty place for a while, and it's still really good. I don't know what it is. That's the magic. Yeah, dude. If this is the fucking Justice League, that's definitely fucking Batman, dude. Yeah, that controller is probably the best one here, actually. I should probably just use that one and throw the rest of them in the trash. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. Yeah, can't say too much else about these. That is, pretty sweet and pretty negative. There was a lot of negative. But if you can get around that. Oh, here's another thing, yeah. Colored analog sticks. You can only get them from Xbox Custom, you know, or some third-party seller, and the analog might not be as good a quality to use gameplay-wise, so you probably don't want to get those. So yeah, if you get one of these unique analog sticks, unfortunately, they're rare and they're kind of expensive to get through Xbox, and sometimes they discontinue it for a while. They're sold out. They don't have it that color anymore. So you know, if you want your build to look a certain way and then, oh no, you used the analog too long, it's broken now, you got to replace it with something like a black one, and it's going to look kind of not as cool. So yeah, that sucks. So the way around it is to make sure you have your primary controller with like the default black analogs that are super common, and you always have those. Make that your controller that you're mainly using all the time. And then until this fucking thing breaks, then you can temp use one of your other fucking controllers until you get this fixed, and then you go back to that. That way, these can last as long as they possibly can, you know, and that's probably the best way to be doing any of this, you know. That way you're not wearing out so many different controllers all at once, you know. You kind of know which ones got the most usage out of them. So that's a good way to try your best to, like, preserve the life of these fucking things. Because, yeah, they don't last forever. Some of the flaws are analog drift. Games that are really sensitive, like Breath of the Wild with the aiming, yeah, if you have a little bit of drift, that game is going to pick it up. And it's going to be kind of annoying. But there are ways to fix drift. I forgot how to do it. You, like, take the controller plate off and then take this off, and then you can get at the what do you call it, the soldering point thing, the plastic deal that's on there, and you can mess with like the little grooves a little bit, kind of rub them back and forth, and it kind of like resets and stabilizes the analog a little better. Yeah, that's a little trick you can do. It'll probably work for you. If not, you need a new analog soldered in, so you got to send it to somebody who knows what they're doing online. And I know a guy, he's pretty cool. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have him do the analogs on these, even though these aren't a problem. So, fuck it. Let's see what he can do. But the bumper is definitely fucked up, so I'm going to have the bumpers replaced and the analog stick. So yeah, I think I covered everything. Oh yeah, and the really bright colored analog sticks, they will stain and look kind of gross if you use them a lot. So like I said, try to stick to using, the darker analog controllers a little bit more. They have parts that are easily replaceable, cheaper, easier to find, of course. You get it. Yeah, so I think that covers it. There's nothing else to say. Yeah, this collection is pretty sweet. Plenty of extra backup. The idea is to have these controllers until I die, basically. Like, I'll always have a working controller somewhere, probably. So, yeah. Because, controllers aren't really getting any better. They're not really improving beyond this point, unfortunately. Not really. And new games are so bad now. Microtransactions everywhere, digital only, always online bullshit, or you have to sign into the internet to even play or register. Or you got to get that day one update, so your physical copy is not really a physical copy. The game is still largely online based. Internet is required for it to function. Like, this is not the way, man. Some idiot was saying, like, games are too big now. That's why they got to do it this way. And it's like, make multiple discs, jackass. There's ways around this. There's ways around this. We did it before, and it was great. Everyone with a brain fucking says that 1998 is the greatest year in gaming history. And that time period overall was around the time of the greatest time in video game history overall. It's true. It's true, man. From 1990 to 2010, basically. It was about a 20-year stretch where gaming was at its best. Yeah. Before that period, it was kind of basic bitch and bare bones and, trying to figure out how to be good. And then by the 1990, it started getting good with like the Super Nintendo and stuff and PC gaming and whatnot. And yeah, 3D gaming and shit. Yeah, it was getting nuts. That was really cool. And then, around the time that the internet started being a thing, people playing online games like StarCraft, Diablo, Halo games, fucking, that was great. And then the corporate world cracked down on video game culture and fucked everything up. Everything's got online only, everything's got microtransactions, cut content left and right, unfinished games being released here and there all over. Bad, very bad. Everything's more expensive, Like, shit, dude. Gaming kind of got fucked over. So I don't really care about the future of gaming very much. I'm kind of happy with what I got. I think I have enough good gaming experiences and a good stockpile of old games, many of which I haven't even really given a fair shake or tried at all. So, like, I got stuff to do, man. I'm satisfied. If there are no new good games coming out from here on out, I'm fine with that. I got what I want. It is kind of a bummer. You want things to get better and better, but sometimes they get fucking worse, okay? And that's kind of what we're going through with gaming these days. So, what are you going to do? But hey, even as negative as I am right now, and as truthful as I am right now, there's still decent games that pop up every now and then. So, whatever. Sometimes you'll go like a year or two without finding a game you like. It's sometimes that fucking bad, but whatever. Still got a bunch of games already that are awesome that you're constantly going back to. That's what good games do. That's why the corporate world hates those kind of games. They don't want to make games that damn good. You keep going back to them. That means you're not buying more games. You're playing the old ones you already paid for. Go fuck yourself, customer. You need to be giving us money at all times. That's the corporate business model. They don't give a fuck about you. So yeah. Sucks, but it is what it is. So anyway, fellers, I think, yeah, I am done showing off all this goofy shit. Probably gonna go to bed here pretty soon. I got so much fucking work to do. I got this controller that I use at work, but I'm so fucking busy now that I don't have time to play games at work. So that sucks. Hey, let's see if this thing glows in the dark like it's supposed to. Is it glowing? Can you see it? It's too dark. Yeah, it's just too dark. It's not going to show up on the phone. Maybe if we blast it with my phone light. Wow, that's fucking sick looking. Baller collection of controllers. Man, that looks fucking... It looks so much cooler in the dark with the lighting on it. Hell yeah, this shit's cool, dude. Yeah, but maybe we can activate the glow-in-the-dark feature on this faceplate by shining a light real fucking bright. Oh, I know. That light is bright as shit. That motherfucker's gonna charge up. Damn, that's a super bright ass light. Fuck yeah, dude. Oh yeah, there it goes. Look at that shit. Let's charge it up some more real quick. This is why I bought this shit, so I could fuck around with its goofy glow-in-the-darkiness. That's the only reason. Wow, look at that shit. Straight up sick looking Xbox controller. Yeah, that's cool shit. Anyway, so I guess I'm gonna get going to bed here. But yeah, the new Halo is coming out in like a week, 2 weeks, somewhere around there. Yeah, man. And it doesn't look like the worst thing that 343 has ever done. So that's good. But it's still really nothing special, nothing to get excited for. Anyone who's like genuinely hyped is like genuinely retarded. But, you know, what are you going to do? Stupid people exist.